Yeah, go ahead. This one isn't recognizing. Can't see. It's not working, nice. That's all it needed. Okay, so we are back joining the transmission live. This Madol Hulgo Hill as white versus Madol important match board 2. Some of the region. Once again, just a reminder, in the event that the team goes off, head chess champions in Africa. Hulgo Hill as white. Once again, just a reminder, in the event chess champions in Africa. It's absolutely. That's what I'm trying to figure out now. Let me try and do it.
The range isn't far. They're not.
We'll end up moving. Don't be touch it, just move the way a little bit.
They venture. That's so small.
really that one. So on average, just say first, just say 30. Then second year, 20. Then yeah, depends on the insurance company, 5 or 10. Then after that, that's why for each agent, they normally because they leave their salary.
Yes.
No one here pays people. They are usually paid 10%. Because of the 1 year, so 40% of pay. Because of the 1 year, so 40% of pay.
What was selling the car for? Sorry, 1 year.
No, no. For 10% of the premium, if you're paying 40K, 60K insurance, it's a 1 year. It's a 1 year. So it's called general business, it's normally 1 year. But this one is a long. That's why you're compensated monthly for this. To motivate the agent. Because the agents don't have a salary. But they make money. You have to build your talent. If they get you,
And this thing you can do it as a side hustle.
let me tell you, this lady, plan was, when we are declared, you find the sum assurance, then you work back. So you get 700. And it's only not very
But I think you have what is it? Oh, because the college they go to. College, that's college of insurance. Certificate of competence. You must have. It's 9 months.
Nowadays, it's 3 months. That's what we look at it like now you told me already and tell your quote right now. Because I'm saying, man, I don't leave money on the table. You told me about that thing. I just need to act like you are acting like scholar. Like, I know what I'm doing. I just don't come. Like, you know, I want a conversation with you. I tell myself this man, you know, like the that's good, something cheap, then I get another one, then do a couple of things, then out of the details, that I know for
So the game you're watching is now Maven versus Madol Panchol, board 2. We are waiting for the actual board, which is going to be updated shortly. Then we can follow the game.
Now, problem is
We had a bit of a delay because Madol Panchol. We're waiting for the actual board, which is going to be shortly. You can the game delay because Okay, so this is round 5 of Maven's Open Chess Championship. There are 2 sections going on. This is the open section, and so far it's been an interesting tournament. I just want to show you at this juncture what the pairing looks like, and to show you what the pairing looks for round 5.
we also get related that. There's a lady called Ruth Mondi. She's now the top tenor. She's the youngest 16 years. She went up to the 16 years old. Now we're still knowing her a couple of years ago. Because she has 50 plus, but now she's going to have to get other people. Yeah, you know. Yeah, it's mother. And she put the money to see. She's problem. But at the end of the day, and the dog doesn't talk. You know you are talking talk, and you talk, you mean what?
It itself one, because how she itself for greater, but then it is itself for different.
But for general business, that is not what you can sell on. I don't like it. But for life,
Who's the best?
number one. But distance is 10%.
And you guys like the assist. Don't you even be also chance to come because it's like 40%
No, we can do it. Our capacity is huge. Now it's huge. We can huge. We are here to stay. Okay? Our capital is crazy. We have our assets. You've seen the tower. These are also part of the. We are solving. Just solving the.
This is where we are right now. This is round 5. Round 5. Brian Toboso versus Gongton Gong. Both of them on 4-4. They won all their games. Brian Toboso beating Kyle Cooker, which is this juncture we can call that an upset. Gongton Gong has indeed been one of the strongest players, the highest rated in this tournament, seed 1. We have on board 2, Mehul Gohil playing Panchol against Madol. This is what we have in the window right now. I have my QC person here, Ariane Hera. He's checking for me if he's flipping.
For me, that's what I usually say.
That's like you grow. Let me tell you that. Now, the future, for the future agents will not see what has been easy to tell them to 13 years.
Yeah. So I think at this juncture, we can confidently say that our audio has issue has been detected. We have an idea what the problem was, and hopefully that marks the end of it. And you can see me up there on screen. My name is Dr. Victor, one of the national members last year, a couple of years, 2018 champion as well, discussing what's going on in this tournament. I think we will keep checking back on the board whether we have live link up, because the live link is what we're looking for at this juncture. We're looking for round 4, hoping this has been updated. No, not yet. Round 4. I know Dennis is working on it. Dennis has done an amazing job. They've set a very good this tournament is praised. It is well done. We can take a look at a couple of games that happened in the previous round, even as we keep an eye on Bull versus Panchol. Panchol has made his move and let Mehul Mal on it. That game is in the early stages. We'll come back to it. Time in the first round. This is the game between Gong Thon Gong and Ian Mutuge. Gong won. It was basically became a Catalan, the classical Catalan. It became quite unpopular some time back to play the bishop to e7 in this position. Better was considered to be basically, instead of that, to bring the bishop here, say check. The idea is that you force either the bishop or the knight to come here. The best move is actually bishop here, then the bishop back to d6 or to e2. It's a very strange kind of move to see, but the idea behind this move generally is you're arguing that this bishop is misplaced. You really want to leave that space open, and you want to maintain the queen's visibility of that d pawn. Plus, there's always this risk that this c pawn could be taken, not now, but in such certain circumstances. For example, the instances can be taken. So the argument here is that you misplace this bishop, then follow up with either bishop e7. Ian, who understands theory, opts a different line, bishop e7. The Catalan can be quite of course, coming, and this position is known to be very bad for for black, sorry. This is a very passive position. This is principally why bishop to b4 is played first. Again, it doesn't look like there's much going on, but in fact, many games it's been proven that this particular position is not good. Look at the space advantage in the center. That queen is well placed. There's a possibility that black may be tempted to play knight to f6, which is basically this move, to play the knight here. But then this move is in the wrong direction, because black has to find a break to open up his pieces either by that move or this move. These are the principal moves you want to pay attention to, but it is not a guarantee that this is going to happen, because this position is, this is why I recommend the theory. I can't get into all the details of it. Just remember my understanding of theory. This position is pretty bad, and you can see why. The development, white has a lot of space in the center, space on the queen side. Black is quite congested. Pawn majority in the center. This is not a good position for black, and I recommend, if you play the Catalan, do not play this. It has been repeated over and over, not a good position. And in fact, yes, this is what I was speaking about. This move looks very tempting. Knight f6, because you're chasing a queen away, but that's a one-move threat. Naroditsky calls it one-movitis, where you see a move, I can attack a queen, attack the queen. But what's the goal here? You really need to find your pawn breaks, and those pawn breaks have to align with either a move or such a move. You have to prepare them. They can't happen immediately, but moves that we prepared. And I think you can see the computer is recommending here queen c8. Now this move, knight f6, this is a move in the wrong direction, and in fact now black is decided to pass and finally plays correct move. Unfortunately, the knight ought to have been on e7, on d7 to support one of the pawns. That is now not possible. And Gong is finding the correct moves, actually, in this position. Now, here he seems to have, the recommended move here seems to have been just out to the center. So it's not clear what plan is with this queen move. It doesn't seem clear. I think what he's doing essentially is getting the out of this x-ray here. Very good idea. The queen was attacked here, but then wow, very strong passed pawn, the center. And suddenly, yeah, passed pawns are meant to be pushed. Passed pawns are meant to be pushed, but unfortunately, actually we are joined by Dennis Wambogo. Dennis, oh, come over, Dennis. Hi, Dennis, how are you? Dennis Wambogo is a gentleman who was in charge of the live transmission, and the fact that we can board here is courtesy of Dennis. Dennis, this is the second time that you're doing this. You are known to do a fantastic job with everything that you're doing. I think we saw a tournament of yours from Mombasa last month.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
We're just in the scope of, how we are doing things in Kenya. This is the third time we are doing live transmission, and every year it's new things. We started the first time was in Mombasa on 7th to 9th, East Africa Juniors by Lighthouse Chess Club. We broadcasted 6 boards. Then there came a Open, the first Grand Prix event. We broadcasted 8 boards. Now this is a much bigger event. We are broadcasting a total of 10 boards, and we can only get better every now and then, just to keep everybody updated on what the current status is, and making sure the real action is being followed from wherever somebody is.
Okay, Dennis, it's actually very, very good that Kenya has gotten to this level. I know earlier on we've been trying to set this stream up better late than never. We had a bit of issue audio, principally because the camera seated that far end, and we are to audio on this side. Now it's a little bit better. Now you're also a quality control officer for the stream. I want to check with you. Have you had a chance to check whether the stream, the audio is now progressing without cuts?
My work is to keep on debugging in case there's an issue. I can confirm there is no issue. There is no issue with the audio. It can be heard loud and clear.
And it's not breaking anymore.
It's not breaking at all.
There you
So
go,
good
guys.
job.
And just a reminder to everybody that if this link breaks for whatever reason, because the second issue we have to solve going forward is activity, then what you do is you go to Raising Chess Champions in Africa, where it's streaming from. You'll find a live link uploaded every often. You can use that because you're not using a recurrent link. We're in round 5. Dennis, the question that the team is asking is, do you not have access to round 4? Because the board, the transmission we have is up to round, we can't see the live games. Am I missing something?
Well, all the link that I've just shared about 10 minutes ago, all and even the spectators can follow the game.
All right.
You refresh and then you come to watch.
And thank you, Lenny Mataiga. I think mentioning is a good job. Thank you. Lenny, one of the strongest players in the country. I think he's had a bit of a rough year so far, Lenny.
Marcelo. Also from Marcelo. I from Marcelo.
Thank you, Dennis. Whenever you see these links up, no, this is a guy in charge of that, Dennis Wambogo. Thank you very much, Dennis. Okay. And now we can go to the game that's actually live. This is the game between Panchol and Mehul. We can have a look at how that game has gone and where we are so far. D4, Mehul plays D4 almost routinely. And if you play knight F6, the possibility of the Tromposki, Bishop G5, Mehul is actually a big expert in the Tromposki, and it's an interesting choice for someone to expect Mehul to get to this position. Both of these players understand their lines, and this is in fact the correct idea. It's a bit of a noisy environment. Please bear with us. Next, tomorrow, if we get a chance to come in, a little bit better. A very interesting pawn sack by Mehul, but this is move number 4, so you can be sure that Mehul is very much in theory. What's going on here? Why would someone give up a pawn? A couple of things. Number one, a pawn is worth 3 moves. If you're giving 3 moves, development, then certainly it's something worth looking at. I'll have Mehul here after the game to let us know what he thinks, what's going on here. So this is in fact a very interesting line. Again, best lines that Mehul is playing recommended by the computer. A very interesting pawn sacrifice. And again, as you can see, is well, that's the first time when he's not made the absolute best move by the computer. The computer is recommending that you should go ahead and immediately play this move e5, displacing the knight. This move really, let's say you pick back. This is in fact one of those possibilities that can get into trouble very, very quickly. Because again, if you play a move like this, any moment this move is possible. Maybe not now because the pawn would be hanging, but at a later stage, then suddenly look at the position. Yes, you're a pawn down, but you have the full center. You're better developed. What has if black hasn't really started playing quite some time before you can join the game? However, played the knight preparatory knight move first, and that allowed a move that doesn't look very likely but should have been played. And the reason why queen d8 should have been played is in fact because it's now from this position, this queen is x-raying this pawn. So now a move like this doesn't, because if it's played, then pick, and suddenly this pawn is hanging. Now there are instances when this may not work, but in this situation it works perfectly. So it's a big miss by to not have played that move. Instead he played this move, and whether Mehul missed his chance again. So I have a feeling that these players must be out of book, and we saw Mehul thinking quite, for a long time in this position. He plays a Trompowsky almost always. And so to figure this line, I think this should be almost a no-brainer. And now, since the queen has left this, then I think that the possibility of a much earlier e6 becomes possible. So really, I'm not sure why Mehul didn't play this move. I don't know what he didn't think about it. And because after this kind of action, then really, I don't think this is really possible at this juncture. I'm not sure it is. Even this move, I think, becomes a... Okay, yeah, it's still reasonable because... Yeah, and again, there are moves like this coming up. This is a real possibility. So I think that's a really big miss by Mehul to not have that move at that point. Instead, he wanted to stop counterplay with the b5 move. Not bad. To us, for sure. Suddenly now, of course, black plays knight to d7. The idea is to stop e5 permanently, and Mehul opts for quick development. Not bad. Still has a steady advantage, but then has room to play more actively. And I think now at this juncture, black is almost getting out of the woods. So white's advantage was really in chasing the net in that square, but that doesn't seem to work anymore. I think at this juncture, if you have to try the move, then suddenly I think this pick, and then this pawn is actually vulnerable. I think this should be, it can be picked immediately, actually, in this position, so it doesn't work. So anyway, that is Mehul versus Panchol. Mehul has played moves. I think that is out of respect for the opponent, but I think the slow moves are not called for. Again, it's understandable because in chess, what you want to do before you go attacking, and that's what Mehul did. However, he really had a chance to put up a very strong pawn, and he didn't do that. So let's go back and see what the other games look like on board one. This is Gongton Gon versus, what is his name? Akinyanya Branto. Both of these players are 4 out of 4. Also punching above his weight at this moment. The game has gone for quite some time. It was a rating, knight e3, d5 standard moves. Now, this c4 move at this juncture has not been considered a very good move because it allows this precise move, giving black a lot of space. Now, it does look like black hasn't really developed much, but allowing for isn't really the best thing to do. It's a fairly complicated line. You better know what you're doing in this kind of a situation. And I'm not sure this is in fact a move in the wrong direction already. And suddenly we're expecting just from this early stage, if black plays perfectly, then white could be in trouble. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you must study your opening lines. If you do not study the opening lines, you can get into trouble and get into trouble quickly. a very good move. This is sort of Benko Gambit style. I mean, what you're trying to do is to make this pawn. It's very possible that black is going to follow, white is going to follow up with this move and just sacrifice the pawn altogether. But then remember that he lost the thread a little bit, and suddenly it's not so easy what black is trying to do. So what white is trying to do. So it's very possible that if he plays a few more slow moves, I'm sorry, it's gonna be an easy lights out in this position. I think black now has to play a3. I think okay, but it's a bit late, and fortunately he's been given the chance to go ahead and play it comfortably. It's a clear pawn up now for black without the usual compensation in these kinds of Benko Gambit kind of attacks. This is a reversed because it's black that is playing this, not white, but it's something that you want to keep track of and just know that this is happening in this position. Again, slight advantage here for he may end up with double pawns, but one of those double pawns is an extra pawn, remember that, and suddenly this position doesn't look very promising for white, to be honest. Surprisingly, in a pretty difficult position. I'm not sure why he has sacrificed that pawn. That pawn is just going to fall straight up, and I'm not sure you can get it back. You know, I think that is. This is the position at the board. I'm trying to see what the idea is. If he picks the pawn, what happens? I see the recommending this very nice move, which sort of almost the queens. Very, very nice move, because this pawn is weak. However, what happens if you just pick this? Are you still not just winning? Let's see what is the recommendation here. It is just winning, really, and there's not much else. There's nothing much really that black can do. I thought that the idea is for him to try and pick here, but this is too slow to pick on b7. I think picking on b7 just allow a catastrophe. First, very good lesson. These are double pawns. This pawn is an extra pawn, yes, but it's also stopping something like a rook from coming behind. Let's say in a position like if white were to play this move, because of the double pawn, then this kind of a move becomes possible and doesn't allow, it becomes impossible because there's a double pawn. But now when you take this when you take this pawn, that pawn doesn't matter much. What matters is the pawn. I heard someone, Mr. Baraza, whom I just heard his voice coming through on the other side. Mr. Baraza, how are you, sir? Please come in to chat. How are you, sir?
Super well, and you? Super well, and you?
Very fine, thank you. You recently accompanied Team Kenya to Russia, Mr. Baraza. Very fine, thank you. You recently accompanied Team Kenya to Russia, Mr. Baraza. Your son, Jean Pence, did an amazing job. Tell us about that trip. I think for the first time, we were looking at the performance and you could see the Kenyan flag ahead of Canadian flags, South African flags. We finished in the upper half of the table in an international event that was
top world beaters. Then getting ourselves where we are, and strictly speaking, we are in a good position if we maintain consistency, we practice, and also exposure. Then also another experience that also motivated the young people is that we went to the chess museum, where we saw all that has happened in this world in that museum in Russia. A very good eye-opener.
Sorry, Mr. Barasa. So we were just talking about the best computer move in the game against Gongton versus Toboso, and in fact, Gongton Gon has played queen to c3. Over to you, Toboso, and that was the number one computer move, giving an evaluation of +3. Ladies and gentlemen, Gongton Gon from Southern Sudan is threatening to win this game. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I think the Russian Museum, I think, met with so many future top players. We also made very good networks, which we must optimize so that we have that continuous, consistent exchange between us and the Russian players. And also, I think just exposure to GMs, FMs, IMs, but most importantly the GMs, who are really, really helpful. So we made very important contacts, which we are currently utilizing them so that we can up our game. But it was a good experience for the whole team Kenya. Everybody at least impressed. I think we did beyond expectations, and everybody was like, wow, these black young people who are doing so well in a different country, which you did, they were top in African continent, top among the top, the top half of the table, and looking for the next but it was a good sharpener and also exposure for us and Team Kenya.
Indeed, thank you, Mr. Baraza. Thank you to all the parents. Thank you to Chess Kenya. That Father Tijin Pence Baraza, who was representing Kenya in one of our best performances by a Kenyan team out in the international event. Really, all countries in that region where chess grew were playing, and Team Kenya did exceptionally well. So while we were there, I've just mentioned to you the situation on board number 1. Gong has played queen to c3. Fantastic move. The way these guys think, I hope we get a chance to understand from him what his thought process was. But remember, the idea is there's a dangerous pawn here. There's an extra pawn. Past pawns are meant to be pushed. Put your pieces in active squares. I think this pawn is weak. You can pick it up anytime. It's heading nowhere. And in fact, this is a serious threat. If now White makes a mistake of picking, then unfortunately, sorry guys, if you're a friend of mine and watching live, watching live, please do not call me. If you call me, then it interferes with the stream. It's charity. Please do not call me. So this is again very interesting that this game is already over. This is board number 3, Simiyu Jedon versus Oluchiri Jeshurun. These are two very, very strong players. I think both of them are 13 years old now, or thereabout. Once again, the Reti, and very simple development. I do recommend to the young players to please look at your opening lines. I do not believe, indeed, this move is line, but I don't think this is a typical line. It's pretty, doesn't of the fact that White hasn't played the most active moves, and it's not bad, but it's not really taking full advantage of every situation. And now, so far, White have been planning to make this break as a threat immediately to fork your pieces, and yeah, that's a serious blunder, because that just loses because you just attack the bishop, and that is it. You really, I see this guy. This guy is hanging here, so you really can't pick back. This is just this is where Jeshurun resigned, because suddenly this bishop is looking at the rook at the far end, and that's it. And the bishop comes back, because if the bishop comes back to e7, then immediately it can be picked. Oh, what an unfortunate situation for the young man. He must be heartbroken. He invests a lot in his. But again, I want to advise all parents who are watching, it is unacceptable for a junior at this level to lose at move 12, mainline opening theory. If it's something abstract, something out there, then yes. But these kinds of clauses can be avoided by paying attention to your chess. I know many coaches say don't do it. They say start, but the coaches are 100 to 1800. Yes, people, you don't want to become an opening theoretician, but when that is said, you're not trying to know lines up to move 40 or move 20 something, but you really should be able to get to move 14, move 15 comfortably without having to get out of it. Unfortunate situation. Let's look at the next game. This is an interesting game actually between the young Nathaniel Manyeki. Nathaniel Manyeki is the Africa under-9 champion, and yesterday he had a draw against multiple-time national champion Mehul Gohil. He got held into a draw in the last round, and in fact, he had a winning position. I'll get a chance to find that game. And in this instance, then Manyeki is playing as black against the underrated South Sudanese Mayen Deng Ador. Mayeng Deng is underrated, as you'll expect. Kenya was in the same situation. We're getting a few more players rated now, and this underrating really doesn't give. You can see an 1800 player from Kenya or from South Sudan and you think this is a weak player, well, you learn on the board that is not the case at all. So let's look at the moment. Looks like it was, this was a Sicilian, what kind of line was it? Main line. This is the Najdorf, one of the strongest Sicilians, and Mayeng is playing the Fischer Soz in attack. I do play sometimes, and I think at this juncture, yes, Bishop B3, this is mainline theory. And I see the Indian is one line, but in fact what Manyeki plays is another possibility. A very simple plan, and I do wish he played this very interesting move here, because now, again, A3 looks tempting, but with A3, suddenly black is just fine. You remember you've played a couple of moves with your bishop. Tell me, how did your game go? You won? Why do you look sad? Come. Let's go to the Kenya under-7 girls chess champion, also one of the people who visited Russia, did games. This is Ariela Tello. She looks very sad, and I was wondering what has happened. Also happened, I know the coach, I know the father to this beautiful girl, and I think the coach is a little worried because she was not smiling. How did your game go?
I won. And it was actually a weird game. I was absolutely losing somewhere, and then you see, they were step to promoting, and I had a so since that I could not stop them, and I was losing. They had 3 pawns. Since my king was closer to their pawns, I needed square could a pawn. So coming to attack I only had 1 pawn. They had pawns, but all of the pawns did not move, and the others I was close to them. My opponent was really close, but what I did, so they were one square to promoting. So I came and attacked. So the king had to move down. Then now they promote. Then now I played about.
Sorry, our child has really fallen. Sorry guys, my apologies. Sorry guys, one of children just fell, and that is one of the children just fell. Sorry. No, you're telling us that so what did you do when you saw that about to queen and they had no pawns on you?
So I played my until until the 8th rank. Since I was black and they were white, and they were promoting. So at the time that they had to promote, and then I captured. Then they captured. Now they just realized they were very far. So I moved my king in a diagonal, or else they will capture. So now I put my queen like that, like my king like that. They had nothing to play, because they had to, because now they started saying like he's like he wanted. I said no. So you were able to stop the pawn from queening. Yeah, and then in a place I found myself only with one queen and a king. And they only had a king. So that's an easy win, isn't it? Yeah, you went to Russia. How was Russia? Pretty weird, annoying, and Russia nice. Was annoying? Kinda. And nice. What was annoying about it? I thought you had so much fun. Okay, I did have fun. The annoying part that I got stabbed by a thorn. And another thing is, it was sunny and the exact same time, snowy. It was sunny and snowy? Yeah. But you wanted to see snow? But you guys did have an amazing job. Congratulations. You guys were able to finish number 19, a very big international tournament ahead of many Russian teams, ahead of Canada, ahead of many other countries in South Africa. You guys did an amazing job. That was one of the highest out of
which was amazing. It's the first time that a Kenyan team in an international tournament of that nature has had that score. You're going hopefully to another country very soon?
Yeah.
Okay. All the best, Cello. Your dad is very proud of you. Your coach is very proud of you. For those of you that, who's your dad and coach?
You're my coach.
There you go. One of the good coaches. Is it important to study opening lines?
A lot.
A lot. Yeah, and she knows. She will tell you, teach your children lines. Okay. Let us look at a couple of lines. So the next game was, Man versus Den. We left at this position. Oh, interesting move. So this is one of the possibilities, and in fact, the reason why you don't play the bishop out is because of this precise sacrifice. The bishop doesn't leave until this move becomes possible, or when the bishop is still sitting back here, so that you cannot take this pawn. So again, Manyeki put a very nice sacrifice, picks the pawn, and of course the knight comes back to what do you call it? Back to F5. Now here you must pick with the bishop. I think picking with the knight is a blunder. That's the knight. Okay, the queen will pick back, not the knight. So suddenly, okay, pick that guy. And fantastic play by the young man. The queen is aiming for that square. The sneaky queen aiming to go straight there, and this guy is hanging. So I have that this knight has to move, and that's not the recommended square. Get your king out of danger. And wow, what has happened? What has that done? Why does that look like a blunder? And he finds the absolute best move. This game is over. Done and dusted. If I don't think Deng is getting out of this one. Look at that, guys. What can you try? The threat is very simple. I want to play here. And
If I was them, I would block with the knight.
So block with the knight, that's what you'd play?
Okay, not like that.
What did you play? Chelsea said the move.
If it was white to if they would play with the arrow, if they would play there, I would block that with the knight.
Block where? But the queen is under attack, see? That's the whole idea, it's a discovery. Yes. So pay attention.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That is
Yeah, so I'm not sure why this is recommended. But the move I had in mind was actually to just chase the guy out of the way. Does it work? Oh yeah, the problem with chasing the guy out of the way is that now the queen bishop can't go to f5. Why? Yeah, so then what happens? Let's see. Where do you play? What's the move? Let's play here, for example. Let's see. Follow the line. Got it. This move still becomes very important because then that guy. See what happens here. For fun, let's move our queen out of the way. Oh yeah, there's problem. There's that serious problem. There's that very serious because this doesn't picked. Okay, so we don't have that option. We have to stop.
you have to stop that with the queen.
Okay, so how about playing this immediately? Oh, now the knight is protecting the bishop, so still trouble. Still trouble.
The bishop
So
is a
what
bishop.
else?
Problem maker.
Again, this move literally threatens bishop to d4, and this guy is lost. So I'm not sure what oh, okay, sorry. It's Deng who's actually winning in this position. I thought Manyeki was white. I don't know why I got confused. I thought that Pelel was in a better position, but he's made a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dad, can I ask you a question? What if, Papa, what if instead of playing this night out,
Instead of?
yeah, when the night goes down, instead of, what did you play?
Okay, Chalo. Yeah, okay. Instead of playing what? This night?
Yeah, instead of playing that night,
Night.
now, what if if, like, what if you would play the queen somewhere?
Like where?
Like somewhere, for example, here.
The queen where here?
Okay, just an example. Yes, they might check, but like, it is.
That's a fork.
Yeah.
You'll pick with the queen possibly. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd want to move my queen away. You're right.
Yeah.
I want to get out of this a discovery. The problem is where can I move my queen? That's why I thought of moving the queen away from this danger. But I saw that if I move the queen away this far, now nobody is stopping this bishop from attacking that rook, and that rook is trapped. Look at that. Very difficult position. Let's see what Deng is gonna play. He has time to think. 40 minutes versus 1 hour. I think again Manyeki is playing very fast. We want to slow down a little bit and look at the position. Okay. Board number 5. What's going on? Paul Orlando Jr. Paul Orlando Jr. is one of the most promising players when I was taking the team to Ghana in 2018. I'm not sure how the player developed over time, but he's a player whom I and quality control is telling me the stream is good. So I'll respect that. As I request quality control to get us on to dial for us, we're not going to go off. And we're going to choose option at some point. Okay, great. So this line, oh, I like this line. Do you know what is to be played here? What's the move? Say the move.
It's knight A6.
Knight. Then what do you play as white?
Then you have to play pawn D4. Pawn D4.
D4, correct. And then after they pick,
And C times D4.
actually later on when you're playing in bigger games, what you're gonna do is you're gonna start playing this move. Don't touch a lot. This is the best move. But let's just play it. Oh, that's really what they did.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you, QC. That's the best move. Then this is followed, this happened, and then this happens. This is actually the best move. And actually the players played, and then the knight can come out to this square. That is by far the best. And then you can pick with the pawn, and life continues. Very interesting line, very complicated. Different from what I've taught you so far.
Yeah.
In this situation, this is one of the lines that was played. These players are very good in their lines. They know exactly what to play. This is theory up to here. I'm not sure about bishop g4. I cannot remember, but again, I think interesting turn of events. It's Haruna Nsubuga versus Paul Orlando. Haruna Nsubuga is one of the top-rated players in Uganda. I think number 2 currently. He drew with Anish Giri. He's a World Cup. He's an extremely strong and underrated player. And I think a move like knight E1, that is a master move. And let me see whether that's the recommended move. It is a top engine move. I don't think this is theory. I think this is just a very good understanding.
I think
and what's
it's like a, because like the fact that they're playing everything that was recommended, and the fact that they're playing everything that's recommended, it really blows my mind. Because like sometimes I'm going to think that he is Stockfish level 8. But, like he's playing. I even have a feeling he's playing better than Stockfish, because this is like in books. Like it's theory.
It is. I don't know whether this is theory all right, but let me tell you why he has done this. There's some good knight versus a bad bishop. So, what do you see in the pawn structure for black?
What I think about them.
What do you see? What do you see?
I see that there's 3 pawn islands.
3 pawn islands, correct?
Double pawn.
Double pawns on which double pawns on which file?
It's on the C file.
The C file, yes. Double pawns on the C file.
And the worst part is they have a weakness in front of the pawns. Like
Which square is that?
it's the C5 square.
C5 square, exactly. Now, if you want to take advantage of that C5 square, what do you think you need to do? Which of your pieces in this position can take advantage of this?
The knight.
Exactly. So what do you think this move is?
Like they want to play over,
Uh-huh.
and then next they play knight c2, and wait, is it knight c2? Yeah, it's knight c2. Then I have a feeling.
Nope. Play knight d3.
Actually, it's true. It's knight d3,
Okay.
and now they want to play knight c.
c5.
Yeah.
Now, next, a very good job, and I'm glad you recognize this thing. So that's the idea, actually, guys. National champion under 7 girls teaching us what the idea is. The pawn structure. What does the pawn structure tell you?
The pawn structure is telling us that they're giving us. Okay,
What's the pawn structure does? What does it tell us in chess, not in this game?
the pawn structure always tells us like what to play and other stuff. But like the pawns are like. Let me say something. The pawns are the sword of chess. So like to move the pawn to get your pieces out. The way that you put your pieces, your pawns.
All right. So it's a very long, guys. So what we want to do, thank you, Viva Chess, for your comment. Indeed, the plan is very simple. This bishop is a bad bishop. It's blocked by central pawns. Yes, there's some activity on this light square. It has some space, but currently the pawn structure is saying, think about the C file. What's going to happen? We want to fix these pawn weaknesses. We want to bring our rooks onto this open file. We want to win these pawns and win the game. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. And so this is a brilliant move by Harun and Subuga. The plan is very simple. Bring out the knight to d3, control the e5 square, make sure these weaknesses can't move, fix them, attack them, win them. Hera, did you win? Good job. Hera is the sister to Tello. Their coach and father is very proud of what they've done. And this is why Orlando this move. Unfortunately, that move is a bit slow because it takes away, again, once this move is played, it's being attacked and it's going to be extremely difficult to defend. So again, this is a questionable decision. It's interesting, questionable, because at this juncture, the theme is very simple. This weakness decide. Where will black play? Essentially,
I have a feeling they're going to play on the queen side.
Queen side, why?
Because there's a weakness, and the
Black, which side? Queen side black? Where is the weakness for black?
the weakness for black is the double pawns. It's on. Let me guys.